When life gets tough, when it takes all your strength just to survive, what do? We all had days where it felt like we got up only to be knocked down again. During the hardest times, it can feel like you're stuck repeating that struggle over and over, not knowing when it will end. If your experience has been anything like mine, it was rough. But what if the key to overcoming life's challenges comes from those who take punches for a living? Boxers and MMA fighters enter the ring knowing they will be hit. They train not just to fight but to endure. They roll with the punches, adjust, and push forward. Their ability to withstand and adapt is what allows them to succeed. In this video, we'll explore 5 principles, rooted in Stoic wisdom and inspired by these fighters, that can help you rise after life knocks you down. You can win, but you need a plan, preparation, and the will to fight. Most importantly, you must be honest about your situation and circumstances. As Mike Tyson famously said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Life will throw unexpected challenges your way, no matter how well you plan. The Stoics understood this reality and embraced it as part of the human experience. They called this idea premeditatio malorum the premeditation of evils. By mentally preparing for setbacks before they happen, we develop the resilience to handle them when they arrive. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. It helps keep us grounded in reality. Being adaptable means loosening our grip on expectations. When we cling too tightly to a desired outcome, we set ourselves up for devastation when things don't go our way. We should think like a boxer adjusting their stance in response to an opponent's jabs. With mental flexibility, we can pivot when circumstances change. The unexpected punch is rarely about us personally. A canceled flight, a rejection, or a sudden illness isn't a personal attack. It's simply an event that requires an adjustment. By separating the circumstance from our interpretation of it, we create space for clearer thinking and better responses. True mental preparation isn't about controlling external events. That's impossible. It's about controlling how we respond. Just as fighters train their minds to stay calm under pressure, we must practice staying steady when our plans collapse. This stability becomes an asset because life will always be unpredictable. The punches are coming, and some will land. You are not alone in this, and you can prepare yourself. You are strong, capable, and ready. Keep that thought in your heart. To be ready for life's hits, you must strengthen your mental resilience. Like a boxer who trains daily to absorb punches, mental toughness is built one day at a time. Fighters don't become resilient overnight. It takes consistent training. You must do the same in your own life. Resilience comes from intentional practice. Start small. Use everyday inconveniences like a delayed train, a spilled coffee, or a tech failure as opportunities to strengthen your patience. Each time you control your response, you build your resilience. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to prepare themselves for hardships. They would take cold showers, fast, or sleep on hard floors, not as punishment, but as training. By choosing discomfort in controlled situations, they expanded their ability to handle unexpected challenges. Life will always present difficulties, and preparing in advance makes them easier to endure. Mental resilience also comes from maintaining perspective. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The setback itself is real, but the way we frame it, believing it's unbearable, unfair, or permanent, creates additional suffering. That part is within our control. The more we train our minds, the stronger we become. Over time, what once seemed overwhelming will become manageable. Then it will become easy. Then you win. But winning requires balance. Just as exertion is important, so is recovery. Sometimes stepping back is necessary. Knowing when to push forward and when to step away is just as important as knowing how to fight. In life, success isn't just about advancing. It's also about knowing when to retreat. A skilled boxer, when faced with an overwhelming attack, doesn't just stand there and take every punch. They move, dodge, and create distance. They conserve energy while waiting for the right moment to strike. Survival in one round creates opportunities in the next. As Seneca observed, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When facing the world's relentless attacks, stepping back can be the smartest move. This principle applies far beyond the ring. When life becomes overwhelming, a strategic retreat helps preserve your energy and resources. Every battle drains your mental, emotional, and physical reserves. Sometimes the wisest choice is to disengage temporarily rather than burn yourself out completely. Stepping back also gives you perspective. In the heat of conflict, emotions cloud judgment. Distance allows you to see the bigger picture, recognize patterns, and develop better strategies. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Not every battle is worth fighting. A strategic retreat lets you decide where and when to take your stand. Life's greatest challenges are often endurance tests. The person who survives, what do you do when life gets tough? When it takes all your strength just to get through the day? We've all had moments where it felt like we got up only to get knocked down again. Some days, some weeks, even some years, feel like a constant struggle, like a fight we can't escape. If your experience has been anything like mine, you know how rough it can get. But what if I told you the secret to winning at life comes from those who take punches for a living? Boxers and MMA fighters step into the ring knowing they will get hit. They roll with the punches, they adjust, and they find a way to fight back. In this video, we'll explore 5 principles based on Stoic wisdom and the example of fighters that will help you rise after being knocked down. Because you can win. You just need the right mindset, the right preparation, and the will to fight back. But you must be honest about where you are and the reality of your situation. As Mike Tyson once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Life will throw unexpected challenges your way, no matter how carefully you plan. The first step in fighting back is accepting this as a natural part of the human experience. The ancient Stoics called this premeditatio malorum the premeditation of evils. By mentally rehearsing setbacks before they occur, you build resilience. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. It keeps you grounded and ready. When you hold too tightly to expectations, you set yourself up for disappointment. A boxer who refuses to adjust their stance will take unnecessary hits. Likewise, being mentally flexible allows you to pivot when circumstances change. The unexpected punch isn't personal. A canceled flight, a rejection, or a sudden setback isn't an attack on you. It's just life happening. The Stoics teach us to separate events from our judgments about them. By creating distance between what happens and how we react, we allow ourselves to think clearly and respond wisely. Fighters train their minds as much as their bodies so they can remain calm under pressure. We must do the same. The goal isn't to control everything. It's to control ourselves. Life will always surprise us, but if we expect the punches, they won't shake us as much. You are strong. You are capable, and you can handle whatever comes next. To withstand life's challenges, you must build resilience. Just like a fighter doesn't become tough overnight, mental strength is built through consistent effort. A boxer trains daily, taking increasing levels of discomfort until they can endure the toughest battles. You must do the same in your life. Start with the small things: a delayed train, a spilled coffee, a missed deadline. Use these as opportunities to practice staying calm. Every controlled reaction strengthens your mental toughness. The Stoics advocated voluntary discomfort, choosing small hardships to prepare for real adversity. Cold showers, fasting, or sleeping on a hard floor aren't punishments. They are training exercises. By willingly facing discomfort in a controlled way, you expand your ability to endure the hardships life throws at you. Since this is real life, challenges are coming. The key is to be ready. Your mindset determines how you experience hardship. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. The pain of a setback is real, but suffering is a choice. The story you tell yourself about the situation is what amplifies the pain. Control that, and you take back your power. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding problems, it means meeting them head-on and growing through them. What once seemed overwhelming will become manageable. Then it will become easy. And eventually, you will win. But winning doesn't always mean pushing forward. Sometimes the smartest move is to step back. Knowing when to advance is only half the battle. You also need to know when to retreat. A skilled fighter doesn't just take hits. They slip, duck, clinch, or step back to create distance. They conserve energy while their opponent tires out. Survival in one round creates opportunity in the next. This principle applies beyond the ring. When life overwhelms you, stepping back allows you to preserve your resources. Every confrontation drains your mental, emotional, and physical reserves. Sometimes the best decision is to disengage temporarily, allowing yourself to regroup. Stepping back also gives you perspective. In the heat of conflict, our vision narrows. Distance allows you to see the bigger picture, recognize patterns, and develop counter-strategies. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Not every battle is worth fighting. A strategic retreat lets you conserve energy for the fights that truly matter. Many of life's challenges are endurance tests, and often, the person who outlasts the struggle wins in the end. History and nature show this truth. From military strategists like Sun Tzu to leaders like Eisenhower, strategic withdrawal has always been a tool of the wise. A tree that refuses to bend in the wind will snap. The reed that moves with the storm survives. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Sometimes, however, retreat isn't an option. Sometimes you have to take the loss. In these moments, perspective is everything. What seems like an obstacle may actually be an opportunity. When faced with a challenge, most people focus on what they've lost. But a fighter sees something different, the chance to grow stronger. The universe isn't conspiring against you. It's preparing you. This isn't blind optimism, it's strategic vision. The strongest competitors don't see their challenges as unfair punishments. They see them as teachers. While others ask, why me? The Stoic asks, what can I learn from this? Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle itself contains the solution. Resistance builds strength. A diamond forms through immense pressure. A sword is hardened in fire. A champion is made through struggle. Nothing exceptional comes from comfort. When you change your perspective, everything changes. The promotion you lost might be the redirection you needed. The relationship that ended might be the lesson that prepared you. The failure that humbled you might be the wisdom that elevates you. Obstacles are training for something greater. But perspective alone isn't enough. You must act. You must develop an unbreakable will. True strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. Think of the legends in the ring who took devastating blows but got back up. They weren't superhuman. They simply refused to stay down. Epictetus, once a slave before becoming a philosopher, taught that while circumstances are out of your control, your response to them is entirely in your hands. This is where your power lies. Life will throw punches, but you only need to control what's within your reach, your thoughts, your actions, and your will. Just as a fighter ignores the noise of the crowd and focuses only on the opponent before them, direct your energy where it matters. An unbreakable will is not just optimism. It is relentless forward motion. It is the quiet voice that says, not today, when defeat seems certain. It is the determination that turns impossible into done. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you build your fortitude. Over time, you become a fighter who bears the scars of battle but remains unbroken. In life, victories don't always come from the hardest punches. They go to the person who lasts the longest, who refuses to give up. Develop an unbreakable will, and no challenge will ever defeat you. We all face moments that test us. Like fighters in the ring, we must learn to absorb the blows, adjust to changing circumstances, and emerge stronger. By embracing life's challenges, training our minds for resilience, knowing when to retreat, shifting our perspective, and cultivating unshakable determination, we equip ourselves not just to survive but to thrive. Life will keep throwing punches. But if you stand your ground, keep learning, and keep rising, you will win. In future videos, we'll explore specific ways to apply these principles in different areas of life. Whether you're dealing with stress, setbacks, or the grind of daily life, our goal is to provide you with the tools to turn challenges into fuel for growth. If this message resonates with you, subscribe and join the journey. Every challenge contains the seeds of victory. Your time to rise is now. Weathers the storm with intelligence and patience is the one who ultimately wins.